and I welcome feedback. I'd also like to learn to speak properly, but that's not going to happen anytime soon, is it? So in the last video I mentioned something about holes. I still haven't really decided. I could do them later if I think I need them, or I mean another option is rather than drilling the holes all the way through, I could just inlay the aluminium tubing and fill the inside of it with something to give a bit of contrast. I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see how we go. I'll gauge it when we get there. But I also said I need to take the heel of this neck down and continue this bevel the whole way across the join. So I'm going to do that now, and to do that I've grabbed out my angle grinder with the trusty spinning heavy metal wheel of death. I don't think that's its technical name, but it should be because it's bloody scary and noisy and turns wood into dust instantly. I absolutely love it. I'd also like a bit of feedback. So you may have noticed that this series has been a lot of shorter videos. I'm kind of trying out not boring everyone to death with a half-hour long epic of me doing far too much drilling holes, lots of sanding, and waxing lyrical about pointless crap. So I'd like your opinions on whether it's an improvement, whether you preferred the old format, or what works for you. I know not everyone's going to be happy. You can't please everyone as much as I want to. So if it's a 50-50 split, then I'll try and do a bit of both. If it's predominantly one way or the other, I will try and stick more to the longer or the shorter videos to kind of try and actually be able to explain what I'm doing and break it down a bit more, because I personally find that when I sit and talk through what I'm doing, it helps me break it down into steps in my head and I understand it better myself. So if that's a help and that's your preferred way of me doing it, just shout. So now I need to get the angle grinder plugged in, get a dust mask, and cause chaos. Should only take about 30 seconds. So what I'm thinking of doing is possibly using a chisel to just tidy this up a little bit and see where it comes. I'm not down to my final thickness on the neck yet, so there will be a lot of finessing to do when I have reached that. But for now, I am just going to try and get this bevel into the neck itself, and then I can shape the neck from there later on. And when I say chisels, I mean every single tool at my disposal. nice transition now. Obviously that'll smooth in a bit more once I finalise the thickness of the neck. I'm thinking I'll go relatively thin on this one. Not silly thin, but relatively thin. And that should come out quite nicely. I've got a little bit of refining around the edge of the bevels still. There's a few little wobbles, but nothing that can't be filed out and sanded nicely. I'm starting to really like this. I think I'm going to need a fretboard. I'm not going to be able to do much with it as a guitar without a fretboard. I have a sneaking suspicion that there might be one hiding in this block of ebony. But to find it, I need to plane this flat, get myself at least one nice square face. 2 would be ideal, and then I can run this through the bandsaw and have a look and see if I can find myself a fretboard. So first things first, let's get it clamped up and grab a plane.